Hello, boss.
And Kizzy, what's up?
Oh, nothing. First, as a matter of fact, let's just start the interview because I got so much. I just want to say I am so thankful what I watch you do with the Bounty Foundation. So let's just kick it off the right way. It's Nikki Z Live, and it is an honor, a privilege, a pleasure to talk to this man right here. I don't know what to call you, emperor. I mean, majestic. He is someone who has brought so many. A god.
I'm a Godzilla. Don't make it confusing. Simple. I'm a Godzilla.
And I want to find out the definition of Godzilla, how you came up with that.
Something a little more than a human.
That's very true. Very true. But you're so iconic, not just because of the music, but also because of what you've contributed to the music. Out of all of the artists in dancehall, or even in the music business in general, I don't know anybody who has made so many additional careers just from his career alone. Now, what inspired you to help so many other artists? Because that's not something that you had to do.
Well, what really inspired me to help other artists was really the fact that another artist encouraged me to go to the studio when I was not taking myself that serious professionally.
Really?
As I always said this in my earlier interview, it was Boom Dandeman who encouraged me to go to the studio. I was always a little community star in Seaview Garden, just battling with Gold Dust and other community artists. Right. Doing dub plates, a sound system, Black Ark, Arabic, and little community sound, White Star and Little Jemmy, but I wasn't a known artist out in the street.
Right. It was. But you were familiar with the sound system culture. You pretty much were raised right into that.
Yeah, I was in the sound system culture, but not outdoor of my community. I was a community sound system artist.
Okay.
So they were the one who I used to look up to as more out there artists.
Right.
So when Dynamite gave me that encouragement, I took it serious and I followed on and started to go to the studio. Okay. And they showed me the way that this is the studio and this is Jammies and this is Uncle T and Mappy and whosoever was the security. They tried to get me familiar with people. Right. And luckily I was the one who got in first. So I think I owed it to them when I birthed.
Now, see, that's the amazing thing about this music industry. It's not predictable. So even if somebody has a song that's hot at this moment, it might not be them who becomes the big name. And that also happens when you try to break artists. I mean, when you have your camp, The Alliance, you couldn't predict who was going to break out first, could you?
No, that's unpredictable.
Right. But then you also have members in the Alliance that when they didn't get the break they wanted, you know, I saw one in particular, they kind of felt that maybe it was because you didn't give them enough attention. What would you say to artists like that who have the opportunity to work with someone who's so far established, but maybe is not getting the instant fame? What would you say to somebody like that?
But I'm the one who put you on the platform, but I'm not the one who decide who get the break. Okay. It's the fans who did that. Right. I never tell the fans to pay more attention to Vybz Kartel. I'm on the same platform and I gave them everybody the same introduction, the same energy, the same vibes. You saw me, you never saw me call up an artist and this one look like Killer got some doubt in him and Killer is not so enthused about this one. If I'm not enthused about you and I don't believe in you, I'm not gonna put you on my platform.
Just like
so
that.
I gave all of them the same support and the same love and the same push. Some of them, it just never done the same for them. Yeah. But it's not like I done anything different.
Yeah. And speaking of not done the same, you know, being a female in this business is tough. And I've seen you stick. I mean, you have shown so much tenacity with the way that you work with K-Queens. And I want to first thank you before you even get into all the other good stuff I want to thank you for giving them this shot. Like, what is it about K-Queens that brings you to them and makes you really put so much energy in their careers?
Yeah, it was like a pair of presents in a day was presented to me by their mom. And I remember that they came when they were young, unpolished, and we put them right in front of the people. They grow in your eyes. So that's why you think you've seen them so long, but they just polished and ready and turned rounded artists. Because right. They were little kids when they came to me. They was like 16 or 17 in their teens. Yeah. And then now, they never tried to act jealous of no one's success. They was there and saw everyone came and get their burst and went and go and deceive and deceit, and they're still there and they're comfortable and they're not acting like, oh, we want to run away or go to anywhere else. They're good with we and we good with them. So we have to stick with who is loyal and who is with us from day one. And that's K Queens.
What do you look for when you look for young talent?
Really talent. It's really talent. And then you got to have a good character, a good personality. Because when people like your talent, your character and your personality will differ them. Because there's a lot of artists with good talent that you can't take the person. Even me. So I'm saying good personality and character, and you have to be smart.
Right.
You have to have sense as an artist. You cannot be illiterate. That artists have to have education. That's one thing. I don't want an illiterate artist to bring because he's not going to understand when I'm doing good or bad.
Right. Not only that, he's not going to be able to get good lyrics together. He only knows eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Everything is going to affect everything. Illiteracy affect everything.
Now, tell me about the Bounty Foundation, because that's another extension of what you've been doing. And that is something that every time I watch you do it, my heart just swells and I love it. So tell me about that.
Well, the Bounty Foundation is something that started recently. I've been doing charity all my life, all my career, should say. Ever since I came on the scene from 1995 with Louise Fraser Bennett and with Sharon Burke, have been continuing to support charities and making donation and contribution. All right, Saddle to the East was a part proceeding aid of the basic schools in Rockford. Yes, Saddle to the East 1999, one of my first concert that I held. It was a part proceeding aid to contribute to the community of Rockford, a few of the basic school there.
Right.
I made a presentation of 200,000 before the concert.
Nice.
So I took the money out my pocket. If the concert had postponed, canceled, whatever did happen, I would still give the money.
Yeah.
That's the first that ever happened. Part proceeding aid and the money presented before the concert.
Boy.
Before the money made from the concert, I took my money out my pocket and gave the 200,000 to the basic school in Rockford.
Yeah.
So I'm saying this is what I've been doing from 1995 up until in the 2000s now, where you have social media, where people can see every little time you do it. And so it was when I got the beds and tried to import the beds for the KPH and the Jubilee Hospital.
I remember that.
That's what caused me to make the foundation, because to get the tax exemption, you have to be a registered foundation.
Okay.
So that's how the Bounty Foundation really end up being formed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just one who give and donate and contribute. I never really think about no foundation. I don't even know what that was about. I just know
but now that you are a foundation, I mean, do you see the difference with corporate entities coming on board and wanting to give a hand?
I see the difference, but I just never think that I have to find foundation to give. I think if I found myself with something, I just give it. So it's when I import the beds now, I found out that you have to really have a registered foundation to get certain support
that extra step.
Yes.
So another thing that you have definitely been doing with the community is, I mean, we've been watching the unrest around the world, and everybody, they're coming together in unity. They're coming together to fight racism, to fight hatred. And watching you out there on the streets in Jamaica was beautiful. But I also want to ask, there's also so many problems we hear about police authority in Jamaica as well. So when you're out there and you're shouting and you're holding the sign for George Floyd, how does that also translate to what's going on in Jamaica as well as, you know, versus America?
We have police brutality all over the world. It might happen in a racism situation, but police brutality is police brutality. Black and black or black and white, it doesn't matter. So we have police brutality here too. But tell you what, the problem in Jamaica, things are not transparent as in America. You notice as George died, we know exactly how he died because the police have body cams. In Jamaica, we don't have that. is the police word against other people word, and then we don't know exactly what happened. So we can't really take the street like that. And then another thing, Jamaicans are not organized. It's only because we were at the embassy why everybody formulate themselves formally and do it peacefully. You saw what they did down at Walton Park and Agley Park Road. That's not how we go about demonstrate and protesting for our rights.
That came after the police killed.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's how Jamaican do protest. That's why we cannot take on to Jamaican type of protest, because they do it in ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to make the voice be heard, but they're gonna cause an arrest, mash up people place, block up road, and that's not what you do. You just go out and make your voice be heard and be seen, just like we do it peacefully at the embassy. Mm-hmm. And Jamaica has all this brutality and this injustice, colorism, prejudice, all these problems. But Jamaica never say anything about it until America get up. So let this be the lead charge. Let's do this for George, and let's do this for the lady that died in her bed, and let's do this for the same young man down there that they claim was innocent, which we don't know if he's really innocent as yet.
Yes.
So it's just at the beginning. We need to stand against police brutality, not racism alone.
Yes.
That does happen in a racism farm, but you have black and black police brutality in America too.
Right, right.
It was about George Floyd and everything. If you look at the plaques that people had up there,
yeah, I did.
It was different plaques. It wasn't just about George. Just happened to be one with the George plaque. And I have my 2 adult sons in America. It could be any one of them. So I want to stand up for that exactly too. Yeah. But we stand for all the things.
I saw someone make a post and basically say, you can't just stand up with your family in US when the barrel comes. You have to stand up with them at all times. So I can understand why people in Jamaica should be.
At all times.
Yeah, definitely. But what would you say to young men and women out there who are feeling angry? They're feeling more angry and they don't see a solution. So all they're feeling is that anger. What would you say to them?
Yeah, we all feel angered, but anger is going to make people more angrier. What we are doing is making a stand. And this stand has seen, it has been heard. Mm-hmm. This movement is working. Change is gonna come.
A whole lot of change is happening.
We don't feel it. I felt it. The world stand up. The world is standing up. If the world say it's time, it's time.
Yeah. And so you guys, you also send that message in a different way. Like a lot of people know the beef you had with Beanie, and now to see you performing next to him and, you know, laughing, joking, having fun, and even going combative with lyrics, it's a big deal for a lot of people. How did you get to that place where you're able to be work colleagues on that level?
Because the beef is cooked now. The beef is marinate. The people had it and they love it and they want more. Yeah. And to make it continue, it have to be positive.
Yeah.
It's not like back in the days where people understand music. Nowadays, people take music worse than politics.
Yeah.
Because Pimpy and JLP hang out and laugh together, and right now you cannot get Alkaline and Popcorn fans to hang out together. No. You can't get Mafada and Cartel fans to hang out together. Only Bounty and Beanie fans will hang out together.
And have a good time.
That's the big difference we're trying to portray. And then Bounty and Beanie never really had a war. We just really have a real bad music battle. But it wasn't personal.
No.
And then Bounty and Beanie become idol from rival. And this is our livelihood.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make how I feel about Beanie back in the days affect how I'm going to earn in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people like what me and Beanie does. So if what I feel about Beanie, people love this. And this pays me a lot. It's more important than how I feel about Beanie. You understand?
Yeah.
But when you're younger, maybe you couldn't understand that clear. But after 27 years, am I stupid today?
I don't think you were stupid then either. No, I just think you're way more mature in your choices now.
Yeah, and they said the more you grow and the older you learn and you get wiser and stronger. And I see more clear and I can see from different angles. And tell you what, if me and Beanie did a war and a fight each other now, after 27 years, look how people are enjoy this. Look on something beautiful like this, so that destroy.
Yeah.
if we couldn't manage to go together and go perform and did what we did at Versus. Look how 500,000 people in the world enjoying this, and it's a euphoria. Even you still talk about it today.
I rewatched it like about 3-4 times. I ain't even gonna front. I love it.
The legacy we would have damaged all because of personal feeling.
Yeah.
It's not like Beanie chop me, or me chop Beanie, or Beanie kill somebody for me, or we have something serious. It would have just be out of personal men ego.
Yeah.
And destroy a beautiful legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody else has one like this. There's nobody who clashed 27 years ago that the world want to see again.
No.
Today, people say they want Versus again.
No.
And they just died 2 weeks ago.
So tell me your opinion in your words, right? Because when you hear the word sound system, when you go to a hip hop party, they got speakers there. That's a sound system. What's the difference between like what they watched on Versus, that dancehall sound system, versus maybe if 2 hip hop DJs did the same thing or tried to do the same thing?
Well, I don't understand no Versus because Versus is something where 2 persons in 2 separate places. And that alone, sound clash can't go like that. Okay. You have to up in your competitor's face.
Right.
You got to intimidate him. And you got to capitalize on all his mistakes instantly. Just like when you say, Beanie jump on my rhythm same time, I have to jump back on it. If he was in another building, he couldn't do that. Right. So our Jamaican sound clash is different. Versus is Versus and sound clash are sound clash. Because Versus is something where you're in 2 separate buildings with 2 different Wi-Fi and all them something. 2 different sound. No. Sound system are 1 place, 1 sound, 1 system.
Yeah. One big energy.
Advantage. No disadvantage or advantage. Everybody on same play field.
I agree. What would you tell your former Bonty, your 10, 15 years ago Bonty? What would you tell him then if you could?
What would I tell my former Bonty?
Well, your 15 years ago self, your younger Bonty version. What would, if you could go back in time right now to 2010, or even not even 2010, let's go back to 1990. If you could sit there and tell yourself one big piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
Take it easy, son. Smile. Don't follow all the bullshit. Because I used to follow a lot of bullshit, man. Yeah. I was too hot-headed. Yeah.
When did that come for you? Well, when was the biggest part of your change? When did that begin?
I guess after my mother died. Yeah, after my mother died, that really leveled me out. Yeah, that was one of my biggest karma.
Yeah. I can tell you from experience that changes a lot of people.
I hardly see Rodney. This was really like a Rodney and a Moses clashing. It wasn't really a Bounty and a Beanie. It was more like Rodney and Moses, the 2 person, not the artist. It was sound clash. We go as selectors mostly, and we toast little lyrics, but it was really spinning. We go proving musically. Yes. So we come out of character. We kind of just be ourselves. So it was just like 2 friends having fun with the music. It's no competition really. It just name a battle, but it was like Bounty and Beanie go for win for Jamaica. So we wasn't going all out against each other. We was just going all out for the culture.
You know how the stigma gallus, the man who has tons of women. We know Bounty is all about the ladies for sure. But what would you tell your younger, your really in the streets version of yourself when it comes to the ladies compared to the man you are today? What advice would you give your younger self about that?
I didn't do anything wrong with the ladies. I wouldn't tell myself anything. I did everything right. I got my fair share. Yeah, I got some lovely kids and I got some great
You're a super dad. You have a lot of babies and I've watched all of the success. Tell me about your daughter. She just won that beautiful pageant. I mean, what was that like for you seeing your daughter now in the spotlight? That has to be a big deal for you.
Yeah, it was a great deal. I enjoyed it. It was really exciting. I'm happy for her. Yesterday, she graduated too from Stella Marish.
Wow. All right, Bonesy. Well, we're expecting so much more from you. And hopefully, we're looking at some visa freeing up soon, one day soon, and we can get maybe a Bounty Beanie tour, or maybe even a Alliance reunion tour. Anything like that in the works?
No, we have no visa at the moment, so it's not in plan, but all of that is being suggested. So it's good suggestion, and if things happen how we expected and want it to go, then All of those good things gonna happen. Because we're not gonna have all of this and keep it to ourselves. We want to share it with the world, and the world want to see it. So if we get back visa tomorrow, then we're gonna do our work, and that's our work. The people want to see us, and we want to be there for them. So I'm ready. If
What's
that's
the first
case.
place in US you'd want to go to?
I want to go where? New York. That's my start.
Right?
My first hit song. Most people don't know the whole history. The whole history, Copper Shot burst in New York before Jamaica.
Oh.
That's where Copper Shot burst, in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my following in New York is totally different from any other artist. My first hit song, Copper Shot, took off in Brooklyn. It never released in Jamaica. It was released in New York first.
Okay.
Jamaica is never really want to release a gun song. It was Johnny Wonder who made the decision to put it on the flip side of Miss Goody Goody for Colin Roach and Galaxy P.
Okay.
And when people buy Miss Goody Goody, woman, you in a club, they flip the 12-inch and they hear Copper Shot. And they say, oh, this artist. And you know, Brooklyn love that gangster shit, so they play that. And it took off in Brooklyn. And then Johnny Wonder say, yo, Jamis, Copper Shot take you off in New York. And he just released it in Jamaica. But it's really a New York vibes really started from Dub for Dub Gateway in Jamaica, but Copper Shot first in New York. And that's why King of D's and LP and all these New York sound system, Bobby Conda's Massive B, have that Bounty Killer impact because they were the first ones who gravitated to it. So New York is my city, and then Miami. I got to see my kids and my family. Miami, my family. New York, my family. That's my place. Then anywhere else in America.
We're going to be waiting on you, definitely, especially over here in South Florida. And any stage you touch out here is going to turn straight up to titanium, platinum, whatever the biggest, most expensive, sturdiest material you can think of. That's what it's going to turn into. But Bounty Killer is on the line, and we're also doing this for This Is 50. So just like I like to ask everybody when I talk to for This Is 50, you got to tell me your favorite version of 50 Cent. Would it be the rapper, the producer, the actor, or the social media troll?
Definitely the rapper. 50 Cent is one of my favorite rappers. He's very hardcore and he's very articulate. He's very lyrical. He's very witty. Yeah. He's like me. He's a fucking beast. Musically, he's a beast. And he's a great businessman also. Yeah. You got to give him credit for that. He's very smart as a business person. And he's a very great rapper. 50 as the artist and the business roller.
All right. So is there anything else you want your fans to know about out there? Because I know you got the new song with Conscience Galwetta. You have another big song with Maestro Don. One of my favorites you dropped for 2020 is the One General.
No, I got another collaboration. I got 3 new collaborations. One with Conscience, one with Maestro Don, and one with RDX. Okay. 3 new collaborations, because that's what I'm doing now. Collaborating with all the artists that I had previously should work with, because it's been a while I should have worked with RDX, Maestro, and all these people who contact to work with me years ago. And you know, sometimes I'm not in recording mood, but now it's 2020 and I'm working on an album also. So I'm just building up the fire and gassing up the place and let them know Killer is live and I'm not dead. So I'm not done. I'm ready again. And it's been like 18 years I put out an album from 2002, The Ghetto Dictionary.
Whoa.
That's my last album.
8? Yeah. That's a whole college kid.
Yeah, that's 2 generations actually.
Yes.
So it's overdue, way past overdue. So I'm working on an album with Ghetto Boy, with Ghetto Youths. Junior Gang gonna be the producer, the executive producer. So you can look out for that. It's gonna be something to listen to. Yeah, it's gonna be the real dancehall. I'm gonna remind them what dancehall is. Some people don't remember what dancehall is and what the foundation is. Yeah, so we're gonna take them back to the real hardcore vibes.
Is there any date? Any release? Any timing on that?
No, music have no time, no date. It's just when the music say it's time. Cause you don't give yourself a deadline in music. Never do that. Just make music come as inspiration. Right. That's why I haven't put out an album in 18 years. Because I never look at no time like, yo, 10 years now, we're not 15 years. It's because everybody killing me up and say, yo, it's nearly 20 years, I gotta do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I realize
it's
you don't
coming.
even pay attention to your streaming numbers. I saw when you post that your numbers almost tripled. You were like,
I don't know about them thing. I don't pay attention to streaming. I was here before the internet, so I don't get too into the net. I was here before the microwave. I was here when color TV just came out. I was here before cable. I was here when TV signing off.
right.
So I'm not into all that internet fad.
I don't think you need to do anything more than be yourself. And we appreciate you as is. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you, get all the info they need.
So you has one Uno General as a backup page that was created after they hacked the page. So I just never deleted it. So you have the Ground Godzilla that I regained. I got a restore access to that.
Okay.
And you have the one Uno General. So it's Ground Godzilla and one Uno General.
Okay.
Those are the two IG page. Official Ground Godzilla backup one Uno General. And on Twitter, it's one Uno General as well, because they hacked the Twitter Ground Godzilla as well.
Right.
Luckily, Instagram helped me to get by the page, but I never get back my Twitter nor my email.
Oh, geez. All right.
And the
Now I got some clarity.
No, they cloned the number, because the person even messaged me and said they just looking some money while they took the page. I had to change the number that I use on the page. That's I get by the page now, and they had no access.
They messaged you and said they just need some money and they sorry?
Yeah. And I refused, so I work with Instagram to get it back. Luckily, I did. So it's a business. Hacking people pay the business. It's not a backup.
Well, right now we're breaking up a bit, so I'm only gonna assume your phone battery's probably dying or something, because it's breaking up even more right now. So yeah. I'm gonna remind everybody, follow him at Grown Godzilla or One Uno.
One Uno General. One Uno General.
One Uno General, Grown Godzilla, and no website right now?
No website right now.
Hopefully we get a website.
Foundation as well on Instagram.
All right. What about merch? I need like all of your phrases on a t-shirt, a hat, something, on a mask. What about merch?
Well, I have no official launch of any merch. We make merchandise, but it's just here and there. We have a designer that did it, but there's not no official launch of any merch as yet.
Yet.
In the future.
Yes, let's just leave that at yet, because I got my credit card waiting to buy. So let's just leave that at yet.
We're gonna have merch in the future.
All right, most definitely. Well, everybody, it's Nikki Z Live. That's Ground Godzilla. New music coming out. You already heard it. Maestro Don with Conscience, with RDX. Look out for him to work with other new talent, because that's what he does. He breaks talent. Yeah. If you want to know who breaks the most talent out of Jamaica, it's this man right here. And we'll be back with more interviews, because I'm going to keep you up to date with everything Caribbean. That's what I do. I'm Nikki Z. And this is Nikki Z Live right here on This Is 50. Thank you.
Nikki Z Live. Hey, yo, yellow. Nikki Z on the drive.
Kaboom!